What's going on? Your boy DJ Black Mark, Shay Diddy, and welcome to another episode of the Street Light Series. And today we got a very, very special guest, international superstar,
the
Agnez Mo.
Hello, darling.
Hey. Everybody's so quiet.
I know. Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. Just a little sleepy, you know.
Is this your first time to the Bay Area?
No. But the last time I was here, like 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 4 years ago, I did another radio promo run for Coke Bottle at that time. So, yep. That was my single with Timbaland and T.I. 4 years ago. So,
right.
You know.
Man.
Was that around the first time you were trying to break into the U.S.
Yeah,
scene?
I think. I mean, at that time when I released that, it was really just me feeling it, like me feeling like, you know what, I need to put this out, you know, because I wasn't signed to any label whatsoever. I own my own label in Indonesia. Yeah. But when I released that, it was released independently at first, and then it got you know, some attraction, and then some label also offered me some deals whatsoever from that. But the first time that I planned on putting it out, it wasn't for anything. It was just, okay, this is a feel-good song. You know, I just want to put it out, so I put it out.
I just dropped
I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, let me just put it out. Oh, there you go. That's the fuck right there. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, this is completely unfiltered right
Say
here.
what you want to say.
For real. So, how did you end up working with Timbaland and T.I. though?
Yeah, that was actually still a mystery to me, to be honest. No, because like that time I got a call from one of my contacts in LA, right? Yeah. And okay, so back up the story a little bit. So when I was like 19, 20 years old, I told the press in Indonesia that I wanted to, you know, go international. I wanted to just, you know, spread my wings. I want to be here and all that. Yeah. And a lot of them were calling me arrogant to even like speaking up about, you know, my dreams and what I want. Wow. And of course, like, started off as just, you know, spur of the moment. All those negativity, it became fuel for me to like really want to make it happen. Yep. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, all right, let me just do it real quick and tell you how it's done. Yeah. You know? So I compiled this folder, huge folder of all the names that I wanted to work with. And the first page is Timbaland. Oh, wow. So in 2011, actually probably October 2011, my birthday, July. One of my contacts called me, and all of it, and she was like, hey, you won't believe who just called me. And I was like, who? Timbaland's people want you to fly out to Miami. Wow. And I was like, what? Like, how? Huh? But I think at that time, social media, Twitter was like the shit then. And I was the #1 most followed Asian artist at that time. Oh. And then, you know, I think, I don't know, like they saw me on YouTube. I never really asked because I was like, okay, Tim wants me to fly out to Miami when, like yesterday. All right, like I'm going to be there. You know, like I didn't ask questions,
First
you know.
flight, I'm gone.
Exactly. So I was there. And then they told me that, okay, let's work on, you know, maybe like one song or two songs, and I was like, sure, even if it's just one one hook, like whatever, exactly, like whatever, like one line, you know, I'm gonna be there.
I'll do the ad libs.
Exactly. But after that, after we did 2 songs, the A&R actually came to us and said, hey, you know, Tim actually just told me that he wants to produce you the whole album. Oh, wow. So, and then I didn't, at that time I still lived in Indonesia. So it was kind of tricky because I was just supposed to be there for like a week, you know, less than a week. And then I was supposed to go back to Indonesia. So I went back to Indonesia first. And then when I got back to the US, I just flew straight to Miami and, you know, worked there for almost a month, you know, with him and with his, you know, writing camp. But yeah, I mean, social media, really.
You say you live with him?
No.
Damn, how was that?
No. I was with his team. Yeah. And the writing camp, and we were just there for a month. Yeah, almost a month.
Did you get to work with T.I. like one-on-one?
No. At that time, it was really last minute because after we decided on which one we wanted to put out, it was his idea. Tim
Yeah.
was like, I think we need T.I. on this record.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah.
What was that? What did that make? How did that make you feel though, knowing that Timbaland had worked with so many legends like Justin Timberlake, and Aaliyah, of course. Like, what was your moment? You were like, holy.
I mean, I've always known that I wanted to work with them, you know, because growing up with a lot of different sounds and culture, you know, back home in Indonesia, it makes me appreciate his sound, you know, so much more.
Right.
You know, and I feel like I could give a different, you know, sauce on it just for the fact that I have this different background. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it turned out to be true. You know, it's like he's just that amazing. He's just that meticulous in everything that he does. And I think what I can get from that is just never second guess yourself, especially because I'm such a perfectionist. And sometimes I second guess myself, like, do I really need to be this meticulous? You know what I mean?
No.
Especially because, like, people are telling you, like, oh, you're crazy to even think about those little things. Like, people won't,
matters.
you know, like it, but it matters.
It matters.
Yeah,
It
'cause if you do it
matters.
wrong, that's
You-
what- they gonna point that out quicker than-
exactly. So when he's in the studio with his writing camp, like, just even the smallest thing, he'd figure it out, and he's just like, yeah, I don't like that sound, and I'm like, which one is he talking?
I don't hear it.
Yeah, but it just, you know, because it didn't really hit me until probably like half of the trip, and I sat down back in my hotel room at that time, and it was just like, shit, like, this is really going down. Like, I was really in the studio with Tim.
Right.
Now that's
Like, fuck this shit.
like, nobody can touch me. That's funny.
Yeah, but it's really humbling though. Like, it's really
Yeah.
humbling. It's really encouraging at the same time because I didn't grow up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like I'm just Asian who was born in the U.S. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I was born and grew up in literally thousands of miles away from here.
Yeah.
And just to be able to realize that music is definitely a universal language, that's really encouraging. You know, it's not just a saying now, you know?
No, that's real.
How has the music industry kind of accepted you over here opposed to at home?
It's actually quite surprising how welcoming it is here. And I just feel like I think now the audience are more accepting. You know, the audience are more ready. You know what I mean? It's not too segmented anymore. I think it used to be like that, not only in the U.S. I think it's the same thing with it in Asia, where, okay, like, if you look like this, then you're supposed to do more pop. Oh, if you look like this, then you're supposed to do more rock songs or whatever. What's interesting is that hip hop or urban or rhythmic has never been a part of the culture in Indonesia.
Yeah.
So I really didn't know how I got that.
Yeah.
I really didn't know. Like, I grew up listening to gospel songs. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
crazy.
it's kind of crazy how a lot of different sound just mold, you know, like, it just becomes you.
Yeah.
You know? And so everybody was like, how do you get this bounce, Ag? Like, whenever you write, I really don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how do I get that? You know, it's just a feel thing, you know?
Just in you.
Yeah, exactly. But it's cool, you know. I feel really blessed to be able to just see, you know, me on this different charts amongst these amazing artists, you know, both now it's charting on both urban and rhythmic. You know, and people say that it's actually really hard to get on those charts, you know, especially knowing that I'm not from here. So it's really, it feels like such a blessing.
So do you classify as R&B or pop?
As Agnez Mo, I don't know what that is.
I mean, but you can ask the same question because people say the same thing about like Post Malone. How do you classify him?
Right. I mean, I don't know if he's a rapper or a
but that's the
singer.
thing, though. It's like, why do you have to classify me, though? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, for this one song, maybe it's, I don't know, like pop with a little hint of rhythmic or urban, but then I don't know if I want to label myself as a pop artist or R&B, because I do want to do just pop music, but then but I also want to do just R&B whenever I feel like it, you know?
Right.
So it's just whatever feels good to me, and I always gravitate towards the bounce, whatever the bounce is. You know what I mean? Whatever makes me move.
Right.
So whatever that is, it can be I don't know. It can be rock sometimes. You know, I don't know. Like, but I just want to feel good, and I think that's what's missing. And sometimes in the industries that people are too busy trying to categorize and trying to like, oh, if it doesn't fit in the existing boxes, then you're not it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's a problem.
I think that in the last 5 years, though, for the industry in general, a lot of people have kind of kicked down doors for that who didn't fit in boxes, but they blew. Like Khalid, who was an Army brat, is like one of the best R&B singers out there right now.
Right.
Nobody saw Post Malone doing anything beyond White Iverson. And like, look at him now, one of the biggest artists in the world. So it's like, I feel you 100%.
He shocked the hell out of me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't expect it either.
See?
I was one of the ones that was like, yeah, it's one hit.
You never count him out, bruh. Yeah. So I told him come up here. Now, how did you end up teaming up with Chris Breezy Overdose? Like,
it was because we started working together for his album, his deluxe album. You know,
so you've been around.
Yeah, so
I did see photos of you guys like in a studio or something.
Yeah. So that was for his deluxe album, but then we didn't stop there. We just kept working, and we didn't have any deadline. We didn't have any like, oh, let's make it more this, let's make it more that. You know, it's just really about the music, like we would listen to beats and then, what are you feeling today? Yeah, I want to do more this now, so let's just do it. And so we ended up having over 10 songs done already. And then we sat down and we were like, yo, like we actually got a whole project together done. So after that, it became a little bit more serious. Yeah. We never really talked about the business before. It was just like music after music, song after song, beats after beats, and that's it.
So you're just vibing and So you guys, are you going to put a project out with him?
Hopefully. I mean, that's what we were talking about. But personally, to be honest, like I don't want to put it out now. Just because I've done the one, the featuring, the duet, whatever you call it, with Tim and T.I., and then now with Chris. I just feel like right now it needs to be about me, you know what I mean? Like about my music. Maybe later, I don't know, next year, 2 years from now, I don't know. But I just feel like I want to put out something about me first.
Well, Overdose is going crazy right now. It's basically on every station in the country. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
But, I always have to ask, as somebody in radio, what's next?
What's next?
Like, do you have another single in mind that you want to drop next?
Yeah. Well, absolutely. That's what the solo project. So basically, before I had this project with Chris, I already did over 50 to 60 songs just for my solo projects. Yeah. You know how it is. It's like you just got to keep working. Going. And then after that, you want to, narrow it down. But I have 50 to 60 songs done. Basically, I have 10 songs with Chris, over 10 songs with Chris. And the next single hopefully would be out, either single or album. It would be out next year. Yeah. We're hoping probably February, like around Valentine's Day. But we'll see.
Oh, gonna drop a Valentine's Day single?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mean one.
Is it? Is it gonna be about love or breakup?
Yeah, it's about both. Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
There's a lot of single ladies on Valentine's Day. I'm just saying.
Well, just no man bashing.
What you mean? We love the man bashing records.
It's an anthem.
It's an anthem?
Yeah.
That's typically a man bashing.
It's a man bashing record, man. You're going to tear us up.
Hey, you'll be all right.
I got to speak up for us. Somebody got to do it. See, there were 2 women. I got to speak up for the fellas, man.
Hey, most men will love that. Stop it. Just saying.
Oh, you going to leave me hanging?
Yep, I'm out.
Smart man. Sometimes I jump off the deep end.
Exactly. You know we're right.
Right.
You know we're right all the time.
I ain't saying that.
I keep telling him now, like, just chill. Whenever she says you're wrong, all right, you're right. I'm wrong.
Exactly.
Right.
Just accept it, you know?
Yeah.
The sooner the better.
Right.
Yo, that's
Because at the end of the day, you're gonna know we're right.
I'm going
so
down
either
swinging.
now or later.
This boy will argue all
I'm going down
night.
swinging. You ain't finna just
all night.
just punk me and have me sitting in the corner saying yes. No, I'm going down swinging.
Stop it.
God.
Now, I know you said that you wanted to pretty much focus on your solo sound with no features, whatever, whatnot.
Yeah.
But are there people out here that you still haven't worked with yet that you want to work with?
I mean, if like Beyonce and Jay-Z called me, I'm like, featuring all day.
Girl,
it's fine.
I carry her bag if she wanted me to. I don't care.
I don't care. I'm like, one line, one ad-libs, it's fine.
I got you.
She's like Beyonce.
I really wanted to work with them, you know, the Carters. I just feel like, especially Jay-Z, I mean, he's not just a great musician, but I feel like he's also a businessman, like a great businessman. And I always respect that from people when they don't just, you know, like when they know when to put different hats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you have to be an artist, then you're just an artist, but then when you're a business person, then you're just a business person, you know? And then who else? I've always wanted to work with Justin Timberlake.
Fire.
Yeah, and, you know, shout out to Johnny Wright as well. You know, Screwface here, my brother and Johnny, we actually partner up together to be my management.
Nice.
So it's actually really close because Johnny Wright also manages Justin Timberlake.
So it's gonna happen.
That's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
You know what's funny is that in 2000, man, I totally forgot if it's 2009. I think Tim and Justin Timberlake had a huge show in LA, Staples Center. And then at that time I was watching them.
Oh. Back in
I was
Indonesia.
watching, no, in LA, because I was there just for like a week or 10 days.
Yeah.
And I was there and I was like, I mean, listen, like I grew up at church, right? So I always believe that like you got to speak something into existence. You know what I mean? And so I was watching them and I was like, one day I'm going to work with both of them.
Oh.
And now, you know, I worked with Tim and then Johnny Wright, which is like, you know, Justin's manager, and now also part of our management. So yeah, maybe Justin is the next.
She's like, this might just be
I don't know.
The stars have aligned.
Well, we're gonna speak into existence for you too.
Exactly.
It's gonna happen.
That's gonna be fire.
Yeah. Yeah, sweet.
So FYI, Justin, call her now, ASAP. Just saying.
And the Carters.
Now, since you said you already had like 50 records done for the new project, do we have a date yet?
No, oh my God. Like I really want to put it out like right now, right this second. But again, you know, it's like, it's always about the teamwork. You know how it is with the business, you know, especially now that I'm signed with 300. You know, we just want to make sure that it's all, even though I don't like politics, I don't like the bullshit behind the music.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like they know that's the reason why they're there. You know, like they know exactly when to put it out. And for me, the sooner the better. But I just want to make sure that I'm really ready, music wise, just to make sure, because you know I'm evolving every day. You know what I mean? And even like listening back to the songs that I wrote 6 months ago with like the songs that I wrote 3 months ago are different.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like I just want to make sure that I just keep working and everything that I do today will top whatever I already did, you know, a week ago. You know what I mean? So it's always about I don't know, just challenging yourself, you know? So I just want to make sure that whatever I put out next is gonna be fire. So
well, I gotta ask this question. I've been waiting to ask somebody who sings. I don't want to classify you as an R&B singer.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But Jacquees earlier this week came out and
Here
claimed
we go.
to be the king of R&B for this generation.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
You know what? I mean, I'm the type of person who believes that like other people need to call you the king of R&B. You know what I mean? I really believe that if you're really the queen, you're really the king, then other people would call you that. You don't gotta call yourself that. You know, it's just me.
Yeah, that's real.
But again, like I respect the fact that, hey, probably like he's speaking it into existence. I don't know. You know, like, I don't know. Maybe he's just like trying to be confident and just trying like, yeah, the queen's like, you're the king of R&B. You know?
Like if he don't believe it, who will?
Yeah, exactly. So I respect that. You know, I respect that. I just don't think that social media is the right place to do it. But
yeah, I mean, he kind of walked into like a shotgun round right there. I mean,
everybody was talking about him. A lot of people learned who Jacquees was, so it worked.
Yeah, so it definitely worked. King of social media, maybe now.
Touche, right? Social media award.
But that throne is only for like 2 days. After that, it's a new king.
Well, who would be your king of
After that, it's a new king.
That's so wrong.
No, I'm saying king of social media.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
you're
that
so
shit
right about
changes
that.
every
Day to day. So I'm like, I don't want to be the king of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I never want to go viral. Not for that.
Oh no.
Oh, absolutely not for that.
It's hard going viral.
Absolutely not.
Girl.
Did you see some of the memes?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's like harsh.
They still go there.
Oh my God. I was like,
They playing, bro.
Every day they have a meme.
They
yeah.
Or the memes about necks and necks.
I'm not laughing
I
at
feel
that.
bad laughing at
I'm
I
not
saw that too.
They both look special.
Y'all going to hell. I'm not laughing at
You
that.
laughed.
No, I laughed at you for bringing that up. I'm not laughing at that situation.
Now,
Don't
you
laugh
are
at that.
somebody, though, like 60 million followers on Instagram alone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever feel like this is too much? Like,
I mean, when you put the focus on it, yeah, probably. But that's the reason why I never really put my focus on social media. You know, no matter what people say to me, like, oh, but it's like the media, it's the shit right now. It's what you need to focus on. Like, I really feel, at least, hey, it's my humble opinion, right? Like, I might be wrong. I don't know. But until now, I really believe that social media is just the vehicle of the thing that you have, whatever the thing is. It might be your craft, your art, your talent, but it should be just a vevehicle. It shouldn't be about that. Shouldn't be your only thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It shouldn't define you.
Exactly. Because there's real life out there. Like I really want to have real life other than my life on social media.
Right.
And I think now a lot of people forget that. So they just want to be on their social media every day. Like I don't have any problem not on my social, like just log out and not on my social media for a month. I don't have a problem with that because I always discipline myself into thinking that that's not real life.
yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Those are not your friends. Those like you don't even know them. So it's like fine. You know what I mean? Like if they like it, cool. If they don't like it, it doesn't matter.
It's cool. It's
cool.
good. They
It's
saw it, though.
Because one thing, they're going to change on you quicker than
Oh, absolutely.
just as fast as they hit like, they're going to hit
Oh,
unlike.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's social media.
And like the crazy shit just are happening on social media. One people can be both your fan and hater. Just for completely
they
have
want
like two
attention.
different accounts.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like one person, like they would create their own little story, have their own little conversation, and we would catch that.
Right.
Because it's so obvious. It's like your name is like so and so one and the other one is so and so two. It's like how dumb can you be?
Like, who has that much time?
Oh, you have no idea.
Come on.
But, so, speaking of that, what happened with
Don't you bring that up.
what?
You better not be talking about no Warriors.
Nah, I ain't,
Oh, okay.
I ain't talking about them. Travis Scott.
Oh, with the dude who make the
Yeah,
fake
they
photos,
made the fake photo of
cheating
his-
on
cheating on his
Kylie,
girl.
so he could go viral, and it went viral, and then he came back like, haha, I tricked social media. But I get that.
Almost
Really?
ruined-
I didn't hear that.
For real?
You didn't
No.
hear about that? Yeah, he basically put out some photos. He dressed up like Travis, did the braids, all of that, and like,
And he kissing some
it
girl.
went viral that Travis is cheating on
Really?
Kylie.
Man, like why would you do that?
Almost
that's the
ruined that
thing,
man's
right?
life.
He said he was doing a social experiment, showing how people just run with things without knowing the facts.
Social experiment.
Yeah, but you putting that man's
exactly.
life.
Right.
Had that been me?
But that's what Travis said, and even all the Kardashians chimed in, was like, "You're out of line for this." But
well, they don't really have too much.
I mean, he
say.
could be dead right now.
I'm about to say,
you know what I mean? My baby daddy cheated on me.
That's the thing. So you gotta be careful out there. You know what I mean?
I would have been at his front door like, man, you know what?
6 months old.
Cost
She's
me
still
my
lactating
family.
and emotional.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey,
Stop playing.
exactly. Right? Yeah. See, that's the thing with social media. I feel like people now don't know where the line is. You know what I mean? It's like you just, because it's like, it's expected. Yeah. You crossing the line is expected now.
Yeah.
It's a place where you can't do it and there's no
exactly. And then all you can just like delete your account and then make another one and then a brand new life. You know what I mean?
Which is ridiculous because if she clap back or if we clap back, then it's like, oh, you're the worst person in the world for responding.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But you just said my dog should die. Like, why did you think I wasn't going to respond? You know what I mean? Like, people say the worst things.
Nasty.
But
right.
I came up with a remedy for that. Just stop responding to negative shit, period.
Absolutely.
We should be responding to the positive comments.
Yeah.
That's true.
But we never do. We always respond to the ones where somebody push our buttons. And I'd be
that's so true.
That's true.
Nah, you do. You don't even say nothing to nobody that say.
I say it to you, but I just block them. Like, I literally told him earlier, my block list is longer than my follower list.
Damn.
I don't play. If it's even slightly misconstrued as negative, block. Somebody said something negative to my brother on Instagram because he commented on my post. And I was like, bitch, you're blocked and your partner's blocked.
Oh, my God. Yeah, but, like, you don't need that in your life. Cool. Life's already hard as it is. Like, why do you need...
At least let them do something. They don't even really say nothing too bad to her. She just block them anyway.
It's slightly negative, block.
Hey, but at the same time, it's her Instagram, you know? Like, she can do whatever the fuck she wants to do.
I keep it positive. Sunshine and rainbows on the shady Instagram.
I feel it, but... It's just,
I get
she's just blocking people.
It's like, ooh, this is for fun. Block, block, block.
She blocked me one time.
Good.
She blocked me one time, and I was like, Shay, I'm trying to hit you. Like,
24 hours.
I accidentally blocked you. I'm like, for real?
I don't like your haircut.
Right.
No, you know how it be. Sometimes people, especially when you're a female, people take that for, and think that you can just say whatever. And I'm not with that.
That's so
at all.
true.
So,
but I think y'all the only ones that can block. I think if dudes start blocking people, we look that kind of funny.
If you blocked, if you can't find me.
No, I'm talking about if somebody say something to me and I block them, I get like, people look at me funny for that. It'd be like, why are you blocking people? Like,
you can say it was on accident.
Nah, but I don't think dudes block people. Like, we just kind of like...
It's like, where you at?
Right, like, we either get with them or we ignore them, but I ain't going to take the time to go to their...
Like, I know where you live.
Right, like, I ain't going to go block somebody. Like, man, if you want to see me, you can see me. You know what I'm saying? But y'all lucky.
Okay.
I ain't blocking nobody.
I'm blocking all your asses.
Come see me. You got a problem with me?
You don't find me ever again. I ain't taking nobody off that list. Anywho, Agnez Mom.
I'm loving this conversation.
I'm sorry. I'm just keeping
I'm loving this conversation, and this coffee just kicked in. So it's like,
she's like,
I'm ready for another round of
how much better you got?
Social media conversation.
She's gonna be here for a while.
I'm just saying, like, social media is crazy, especially kids nowadays. They hurting themselves over it. So it's like, I don't even play those games.
Yeah.
Not over here.
That's so true.
So
and only for what? Like, sometimes they only seek attention. That's the thing. That's what's so sad about it. Really, if you think about it, it's so freaking sad.
Yeah.
Like their life must be so lonely that they got to do this just to have attention.
Yeah.
So like, there's again, like what you said about you blocking people, like us clapping back, and then people were like, oh my God, like, you're so rude, like, why did you say that? What do you mean why?
Or like, your words mean more because it came from you versus what the person said to you. You don't know how that affected you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So and then because you're like, we're constantly under the spotlight, people forget that we're also human beings. You know what I mean? With feelings. Like, this is like real feeling you're affecting. You know what I mean? It's not just, just because I'm an artist then I can't have feelings. And people forget about that.
I guess society just expects you to just kind of block it out.
Always.
And it's hard for people to understand like you are human too.
And if we make mistakes, it's so hard for people to forgive us.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because like, you're supposed to be a role model. And like, actually we're not. we don't have to. We really don't have to. Like, if I want to be a role model, then which is, that's my platform. This is what I want to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. But there are a lot of other artists out there who just want to do them. Like, they just want to do music.
Yeah.
They don't care about like, actually it just kind of happens. Like my music is kind of dope, but it doesn't mean that I want to be a role model. Like there are a lot of artists like that, and like those options, I feel like that option is taken away the moment you have that platform. People always want you to be, you have to be good all the time. You have to be, of course, you
perfect.
know, exactly. That's the right word. Like people want you to be perfect all the time.
Right.
I was going to ask you, is it different in Indonesia versus here? How people like treat you or interact with you on social media? In the States, at least, people come with negative before positive. That makes
it's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like
it's the same thing. I mean, the fans are always gonna root for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes demanding, not sometimes, like real demanding every time, every day, every minute. What am I saying?
Right.
But I feel like it's the same thing, especially now with social media. I feel like it's the same thing. It's the same hatred. I just feel like the topic that they would be hating on are different.
Oh, wow. What do you mean?
You know, like, women. I mean, it's getting better. I'm not saying that it doesn't get better, you know, and I felt it. I felt that the generation has changed, and then people are more open-minded right now and just more accepting. But I grew up in both the worst and the best of both worlds, right? I grew up in a time where social media wasn't there. So, you know, like you kind of have to go somewhere to get something.
Yeah.
I think that era, that generation appreciate process so much more than the generation now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, the worst of that generation, not the younger generation, the generation that I grew up in, if you say, like, I want to go international, I want to do this, I want to be better, it's almost like it's a bad thing because it's arrogant.
Yeah.
You know, it's like arrogance for them, you know? And then in Indonesia, I remember because I didn't, you know, like I didn't grow up speaking English. Like I learned how to speak English when I was like 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't speak English until I was 14 or 15.
Yeah.
And when I try to like speak it, because I know that I had to, you know, I had to learn. People were like, why do you speak English? Like, why do you speak different language than your own language? Like, are you trying to be Americanized now? Like, why are you know what I mean? So it's almost like it's a bad thing. Whereas now, you know, it's the normal thing to do. Like everybody, like my cousin, my niece, she speaks English better than Indonesian language. You know what I mean? And she grows up there. Like she lives there in Indonesia.
Yeah.
But I feel like her first language was English.
Yeah.
So it's just a whole different like struggle that I had to go through. You know what I mean? And then what else? Women. You know, we are expected to be more quiet, more conservative, and they don't like it if you, you know, cut your hair short, and that's the reason why I cut my hair short.
Swear.
You know, like, I mean, this is like nothing, because I used to have like really almost like half bald and like shaved and all that, just because like, hello. I'm like,
fuck y'all, what you gonna say now? Yeah.
Like, short.
All right.
But it's just sad. It's just the standard of beauty in Asia, right? Like you have to be pale. You have to be, you know, like you have to have long, dark hair, just natural. I don't have any problem with that. I have a problem when I don't have the option to not do that.
Yeah.
You know, I have a problem with that. Like, I don't have any problem because I do like, you know, long hair. Like, sometimes I just want to have, like, natural long hair. But sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
And I have a problem when people start to tell me and label me for, you're such rebellious just because I dress up like this. Or just because I cut my hair short. Like, what's your problem?
Why can't I just do me?
Exactly. And And what does it have anything to do with my heart? And you know what I mean? Like, do you not see that I'm actually a really good person? But you don't see that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You don't see that. All you do is just see, oh, like she has all the blings and all this. Oh, she must be this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like that's the type of, I don't want to call it struggle, but yeah, kind of, that I still have to go through. Whereas like here, I feel like when you have your character, when you know your personality, it's being celebrated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's also the reason why it's so important for me to know who I am and give a fuck, but not give a fuck. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I love that she cussed when she said that.
Let them know.
For real, because I mean, I think as a girl, I definitely get it because I try to do the same thing. I'm not the girl who's gonna show up here in heels and makeup and all that every day. I'm gonna show up like I showed up in high school. And let these little youngsters know, like, well, you can show up as you are and be who you are and do what you want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, 100% kudos to you.
Thank
you.
you.
Holding it down for all Indonesia right now.
There you go.
Represent.
Represent.
Oh my goodness. Now, I did ask you earlier, but I'm going to ask you one more time because I am curious. Do you know what the next single is going to be?
I think I do. It's like top 5, but...
Look at how he leaned in.
Like, you better not.
You better not say
You better not drop
I gave her a teaser.
Top 5. Top 5, but... I'm actually going back to the studio.
Okay.
Actually,
okay.
this December.
So it could change.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. When I work with, with Chris for this project, I feel like I had so much growth that just as an artist and as a songwriter. So I actually was the one telling them that, you know what, I really need to challenge myself just one more time before I put this out. Because I feel it. Like, I feel that I've changed as an artist and as a songwriter.
That's dope.
So, yeah.
So you want to see what comes out of you from this.
Exactly. Like, maybe if I surprise myself, like, oh, shit, like, that sucks. Or, like, oh, like, yep, I'm not better. Okay, cool. I don't know. It's like, I just want to see it.
Or, oh shit, that's a fucking smash.
Exactly.
Right. Well, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see what 2019 brings for you.
Thank you.
And before I let you go, I'm going to ask you one last question, just for the world to know. What do you want for Christmas?
Ooh, all I want is you. For this song, you know what? Just for the short term, I want this song at least like Overdose to be in top 20 for easy. Urban and rhythmic. Bless you. Oh shit, you're right.
I was gonna say, where's the now?
Yeah, I was like, that should be easy.
You're right. That's already top 20.
I know it.
Shoot.
Top 5.
Top 5.
There it is.
Top 5.
We're gonna speak that into existence.
Top 10 Billboard. How about that? Because right now it's charting on 5 different Billboard charts, but it's like top 20, right? Yeah, it's around that. So, top 10.
We're going for the number 1 spot.
Yeah, number 1 spot. Yeah.
Speaking into existence for you.
Agnez Mo.
And the long term, the Carters.
Right? Long term, I'm going to need Beyonce to call my girl Agnez Mo.
Well, it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So for the people that lives under a rock, where can they find you?
Nowhere.
Right.
Well, on
social media at Agnezmo, Agnezmo. People sometimes don't know how to pronounce my name just because the S is a Z.
Yeah.
So it's just Agnez. Right. Just with a little sauce on it. That's why
a little spin.
That's why it's a Z. It's like, so it's just like it's just a little, It's like when you call my name, it's supposed to be more like, Yeah. There you go. I got you.
I'm not doing that. But I feel you. I'm with you, but I'm not doing that. Do it again.
You only get it once, boo boo. You got to pay for it twice.
Or that little
Yeah, see? Yeah, I ain't doing that.
But that little thing,
just a little bit.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, you gonna do any more acting?
Hopefully soon. I really want to get back to acting, but we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. You know, like my love is for music, man. I don't know why, but there's just something about I've always wanted to, I mean, I've always done both.
Yeah.
You know, like growing up, like acting and music, I've always been kind of like emerged into becoming one career for me.
Yeah.
But I have to really see. Because it takes a lot of times. It's just time consuming.
Yeah.
And right now, my focus is on breaking here.
Music.
You know, on the music side. So we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna speak it into existence, and we're gonna see her on Empire or even a Hollywood picture in the next 3 years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Or Power.
It is. Exactly.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Street Light series in the books. That's Shay Diddy. I'm Black Mark. Agnez Mo in the building. Thank y'all. We out.